When we first met, I thought he was the one. It wasn't fireworks or a whirlwind romance, but something quieter, a calm, steady pull. We met in college over cheap coffee and half-finished assignments, laughing about professors and deadlines. He had this way of making me feel safe, seen, like I wasn't just another face in the crowd. I told myself that this steady comfort, was the kind of foundation you build a life on. 2 years, and 4 months later, I'm not so sure. Because somewhere along the way, what we had stopped feeling safe and started feeling empty. I lost my virginity to him. It was supposed to be special. Instead, I ended that night shaking and crying, not from violence or assault, but from the complete absence of care. No tenderness, no connection, just an act, over before I could even process it, followed by silence. He rolled over, picked up his phone, and started scrolling. No kiss, no comfort. Just me, lying there, realizing that something important had been taken from me without any of the closeness I'd imagined. It didn't get better after that. Sex became a routine, if you could even call it that. Sometimes, after, he would just fall asleep. Other times, he'd make subtle comments suggesting I should leave his dorm. And then came the STI. He gave it to me from a previous relationship, and it triggered the worst flare-ups of my endometriosis, a chronic condition that causes debilitating pelvic pain. Recovery was brutal, and through it all, he was distant, offering little to no support. On our first anniversary, I had to take Plan B. He barely acknowledged it, and then, to top it all off, I found out he'd been liking sexual photos of celebrities online. My confidence, my self-esteem, shattered. A year has passed since then. We've had hours of exhausting, tear-filled conversations. I can see he's matured in some ways. I can see he tries harder to make me feel safe now. But the truth is, those old wounds never fully closed. And our sex life? It's barely breathing. On average, we have sex once a month, sometimes not at all for months. And it's always me who initiates, every single time. It makes me feel unwanted, undesired, like I could disappear, and he wouldn't even notice. And when we do have sex, it's the same script every time. He pulls me on top, I lead everything, the kissing, the positioning, the pacing. It feels mechanical, predictable, like I'm performing at him, not with him. There's no mutual energy, no give and take. He rarely touches me in ways that turn me on. I almost never finish. And when he does, that's it, game over. He shuts down completely, rolls away. At best, he'll half-heartedly touch me after, but it feels like a chore, not desire. And that feeling, that sense that I'm just an obligation, crushes me in ways I can't even explain. My condition, endometriosis, complicates everything. Sex can be painful for me. Sometimes very painful. I know that's made him cautious. He says he lets me take the lead so he won't hurt me. And I appreciate the care in that. But somewhere along the way, I lost something too. My sense of being wanted. I've told him there are ways to make it easier. Longer foreplay, different positions, pelvic massage, CBD oil. He listens, but we never actually try them. Because we so rarely have sex, I never get the chance to experiment, to learn what might help. It's a vicious cycle. Pain leads to avoidance. Avoidance leads to disconnection. Disconnection makes the pain feel inevitable. Once, we talked about scheduling sex so I could prepare physically. He mentioned doing more oral. That was months ago. Nothing changed. And then there's the way he treats sexual conversations. Like they're dirty, creepy, something to joke about When I told him I masturbate often, he laughed, called it some ridiculous name. When I ask about fantasies, he shuts it down. It's immaturity, not cruelty. But it still builds walls between us. Now, when I touch myself, I don't even think about him. I can't get in the mood with him because I'm too busy rushing, trying to finish before he does, and I never succeed. I've started to wonder if I'm even attracted to him anymore, or if I'm just holding on to the memory of the man I thought he was. I don't want to coerce him into chore sex. I don't want to guilt him for having a lower libido. But I'm unsatisfied, disconnected, and terrified this isn't sustainable. And yet, I still love him. I still want this to work. I just don't know how much longer I can live like this. So here I am, asking strangers for advice. Is it possible for love to survive without intimacy, or am I just clinging to something that's already gone? Thanks for watching. That's how this story ended, with frustration, hope, and unanswered questions. Have you ever faced a relationship where love was there but intimacy was missing? Share your story in the comments. Someone out there might need to hear it. And if this hit close to home, like and subscribe. More real stories, raw, bold, and unapologetically honest, are coming soon.